Cyclone Taukte has now been declared extremely severe by IMDs, inching closer towards the coast of Gujarat. The cyclone is now heading towards the centre of southern bulge of Gujarat and is expected to make a landfall near Diu by evening. Mumbai, that is not in the direct line of threat of the cyclone, is witnessing rains accompanied with strong winds. Operation of Mumbai monorail has been suspended for a day. BMC's appeal to people not to venture out near the coast. Bandra Sea Link has been closed for commuters till further notice. Orange alert has been issued for Mumbai, Thane, Palghar, and there is a red alert for Raigad. NDRF has been deployed, over 50 teams in Gujarat for evacuation and rescue. So far, nearly 1.5 lakh people have been shifted from low-lying coastal areas in Gujarat. Flight operation at Surat Airport has been suspended till 6 in the evening. In Goa, 2 people have lost their lives so far. Over 100 houses have been damaged due to strong winds. Several roads in the state remain blocked. In Kerala, cyclonic winds led to the damage of property and heavy rains caused waterlogging in several parts of Alappuzha. As of now, 6 people have lost their lives, 4 in Karnataka, 2 in Goa. Vidya is now joining us from Mumbai. And Vidya, what is the situation on ground as far as Mumbai suburbs is concerned, and what is the advisory at the moment with the Met Department predictions?
Well, the advisory is very clear to people, asking them not to venture out. In fact, the reason for it is specifically areas like this. The heavy rain and wind that the city is witnessing, which we did not witness even at the time of Cyclone Nisarg or the Vayu, is something that we are witnessing today. Here you can see water inundation, not just in Andheri subway, but in low-lying areas across the city. There are many, all those areas which have witnessed heavy rain are, extremely inundated like this, especially the low-lying areas. Also, there have been many instances of tree falling across the city, which has blocked many roads. Water inundation and the falling of trees, both of it has led to severe, a little problematic transportation problems that we have seen. But right now, yes, the authorities are on standby. They are trying their best to see to it that people do not really venture out here. Especially, all these areas where there is water inundation, the entire area has been blocked. Barricades have been put up. People have been asked not to come out. Even those who had to move out in emergency, they are being asked. Look, for example, that person that you see, that vehicle, it was trying to cross this entire waterlogged road, but was advised by people that it is quite deep and that they should not really venture out. And the road ahead is not something that is motorable. So, people are on standby, asking people to be cautious and only move out when there is an extreme need. But as of now, the cyclone, which is approximately 120 kilometers west of Mumbai, is on its way to Gujarat. And as it moves ahead, there still will be rain and wind that the city will witness, is something that the meteorological department has been stating.
Hold on right there. Sahil Joshi is also joining us. Sahil, take it away. Just explain to us the lay of the land as far as Maharashtra is concerned, specifically Mumbai, where you're standing by right now, in terms of the advisories, in terms of the Met Department predictions, and in terms of the precautionary measures that the state administration has taken so far. Over to you for all the latest.
Well, now that wind speed has increased. What the that the wind go beyond 70 kilometers.
Sahil, apologies. There's some issue with your audio right there. We'll fix it up. I'm requesting the producers to fix the audio for Sahil Joshi and bring him back on as he's getting us a lay of the land as far as the state of Maharashtra is concerned. In the meanwhile, our correspondent from Mumbai and Gujarat sent us some ground reports on Cyclone Taukte. Listen in.
Bandra Sea Link has been closed because you can see the wind speed at this is Girgaon Chowpatty, and you can witness the heavy rains and wind speed. And because Bandra Sea Link is a road, both the side there is a sea face, there is a high risk for the vehicles which could be inside that's connecting sea link. Now you can understand that this side of Girgaon Chowpatty, if you see the other way, there is strong winds which can be seen with heavy rainfalls. The police has been deployed. there is minimal traffic on the road, but the damage which would be done mostly will be the strong winds which are blowing in and around the city of Mumbai, especially the coastal areas. Earlier we were showing you the visuals of Gateway of India where there were strong winds, and now again here in the Girgaon Chowpatty area, which is a coastal beach area, nobody has been allowed to venture near these areas. But these strong winds are leading to tree collapse incidents, and due to those there are accidents happening, people are getting injured. So last year there was a Nisarg cyclone in Mumbai, but the impact of it was not as much as this. There was prediction made, but the extreme severity of the cyclone can still be witnessed in Mumbai as it passes by the latitude of Mumbai in the Arabian Sea. You can imagine the eye of this storm would be so strong and so extreme when it hits the South Gujarat. You can only pray and hope that there is minimal damage in Gujarat. But here in Mumbai, if you see that there are rescue guards which are there at the area of the beaches, so that in any incident people can be rescued. But the NDRF present in Juhu and other places are also saying that till the time the storm doesn't pass by, if the wind blows and rains this heavily, the rescue operations will also be difficult to be carried out. So at this point of time, there is a peak of cyclone which is passing by Mumbai. We are witnessing it with strong winds, heavy rainfall at various parts of Mumbai. There were warnings given, and hence COVID patients were shifted from the field hospitals to a safer location. There were trees which were trimmed. There were trees which were tied to rope so that the trees don't fall. There is no incident being reported. But the gusty winds which were predicted are happening in Mumbai, due to which there is damage being reported in many parts of the city. And for few hours, this is going to continue like this.
We've got Sahil Joshi back with us. He's joining us from Mumbai. Sahil, I'm throwing straight across to you. Get us the lay of the land as far as Maharashtra is concerned, specifically Bombay, where you're standing right now. Precautions, advisories, and the kind of arrangements that have been made by the state administration. Take it away for the entire state.
It's a pretty heavy wind. I can't even open my eyes. I mean, the rainfall has... Let me just show you the panoramic view of Mumbai. As you can see here, it's completely filled with rain at this point of time. Nobody would believe that this is a month of May, and it's a it looks like a peak season of monsoon at this point of time. It's a very heavy rainfall happening at this point of time, at least since last half an hour. At the same time, it is collaborated with. It's an extremely windy situation here. The winds are blowing at least from 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. I just spoke to Mayor of Mumbai a while ago at Worli Seaface, and she was telling me that almost 600 patients have been shifted from Mumbai's various field hospitals like BKC, Mulund, Nesco Hospital, and they have been shifted to the proper hospitals at this point of time. No casualty has been reported, but as Mustafa was mentioning, unlike last year when the Nisarga was actually having a landfall near Mumbai, it did not cause much damage. But what I could definitely see at this point of time, that many trees uprooted, the branches fallen down, and the BMC teams are taking rounds of various streets. Luckily, because of, I wouldn't say luckily, but thankfully, because it's a situation where Mumbai is already under Section 144, people are not venturing out, and the BMC has clearly said that there is not going to be any vaccination drive today. People should not venture out of their houses, should stay back where they are. As you can clearly see that it's extremely heavy wind blowing at this point of time. I couldn't even open my eyes, and that is the situation across the western coast of Maharashtra. Sindhudurga, Ratnagiri and Raigad were the districts which got hit first. Yesterday, the fishing trawlers were asked to be stationed at the coast. They were tied together so that they shouldn't drift away inside the sea. The same way, Mumbai, Thane and Palghar districts, which are again on the western coast, have been asked to be completely shut because of this. The cyclone is moving towards Gujarat, at least 125 kilometers from Mumbai's coast, but it's bringing heavy rainfall, intermittent rainfall, but heavy rainfall, and it's moving towards Porbandar. What we could see at this point of time, looking at the movement. I spoke to the disaster management in Mumbai. They have confirmed that a lot of complaints about trees falling down, uprooting at various places have come, but there is no complaint of waterlogging, at least, because right now, as you can see, that there is a heavy rainfall, but it will go down in a while so that it gives time that the water gets subsided. But I could see that some smaller roads are still water filled. There is a minor waterlogging at many of the places, as you could see right now. These are the small lanes in Mumbai's town areas. You can see the waterlogging. The local trains are any which ways are running, not running much because of the COVID situation. So you can't see any more trains at this point of time. Because of the low visibility, you can see that there is completely low visibility, and because of that, the Mumbai airport has been shut for few hours. They haven't given a particular time that when they will open up the airport. But of course, when the visibility will increase, by evening it is expected, not yet told. At least 5 to 6 flights have been diverted to some other locations. But of course, the state administration yesterday had a meeting. The Chief Minister himself had a meeting with the Amit Shah, Home Minister of the Central Home Minister, and he had briefed already. The NDRF teams have been posted at various locations across the western coast, especially in Palghar, Thane and Mumbai, because these areas are closer to the Gujarat coast, and that is how the situation is in Mumbai as well as in the rest of the Maharashtra, especially the western coast. It's going parallel to the western coast, and that is the reason why this heavy wind, the heavy rainfall, and at Bandra Worli ceiling, what you could see is that the high waves we could see there, and that is the reason why even the ceiling was closed for the 2 days, yesterday and today. So this is going to be the situation at least till tomorrow. The mayor has said that even tomorrow people shouldn't venture out, but we are hoping that by evening there will be a fresh advisory from the BMC for the Mumbaikars.
Absolutely, Sahil. We'll wait for that advisory as well, and stay with us. We are going to continue to come back to you. Sahil is getting us these compelling visuals right there from Mumbai and getting us the state of Maharashtra as it stands right now. Rains, gusty winds, all lashing Mumbai. You can see the financial capital with a double whammy of fighting COVID and, of course, the cyclonic storm as well. Our correspondent from Mumbai and Gujarat sent us some ground reports on Cyclone Taukte. Listen in.
साइक्लोन ताउते की अब आहट शुरू हो चुकी है। वैसे में वेरावल का जाडेश्वर करके जो इलाका है उसे खाली करवाने के लिए बताया गया है। यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं इस इलाके में ज़्यादातर मछुआरे रहते हैं और ये लो लाइन इलाकों में आता है। यहीं से मछुआरे अपनी बोट जो है वो समुद्र में लेके जाते हैं। तो वैसे में आप देख सकते हैं जो कि वेरावल के और यहाँ के डिफेंस की जो टीम है यहाँ पे वो लगातार ये घोषणा कर रही है कि चक्रवात आने वाला है, इस पूरे इलाके को खाली कर दिया जाए। इस पूरे इलाके में जो मछुआरे हैं उन्होंने अपने बच्चे और ज़्यादातर महिलाओं को सुरक्षित जगहों पर भेज दिया है, लेकिन यहाँ पे उनकी जो बोट है वो बोट रहने की वजह से उनको अब यहाँ से हटाने का जो काम है वो पुलिस ने शुरू किया है। माना जा रहा है कि आज शाम तक जो चक्रवात है वो वेरावल और ऊना के बीच में लैंडफॉल हो सकता है, जिसके चलते ये प्रिकॉशंस के जरिए लोगों को यहाँ से सुरक्षित स्थानों पर निकालने का काम जो है वो जारी कर दिया गया है।
All right, Akshita Nandagopal is also joining us with the do's and don'ts during this cyclone. Over to you, Akshita.
If you're in a city that is going to be facing the wrath of Cyclone Taukte, here are some do's and don'ts. First of all, the most important is to ignore all rumors about the cyclone, about its impact. Ensure you follow credible sources, that is the Met Department and whatever advisory the government puts out. Ensure you are in a safe shelter if possible. If you live in a low-lying area, it may be a good idea for you to move out of your residence based on what the government has said. Keep your mobile phones charged to ensure connectivity, because remember that usually this cyclonic storm is coupled with power outages in most areas. Prepare an emergency kit with all the essentials. Keep a medical kit with you as well as all other emergency essentials. Switch off electrical as well as gas supply when the cyclone hits. This is as a precautionary measure to ensure that there is no damage reported. Keep doors and windows of your house closed as well, because the wind speeds will pick up. Again, it will lead to a lot of damage in your residence. Drink boiled or chlorinated water after the cyclone, because very often after this kind of a severe storm, you get a lot of reports about contaminated water.
India Today spoke to NDRF Director General S.N. Pradhan a short while ago. Listen in.
Mr. S.N. Pradhan is joining us on this broadcast. Sir, thank you for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. It's a difficult time for the NDRF in this kind of rescue operation because we're already dealing with the coronavirus crisis, and amid that, this kind of a natural calamity. So how do you and how does your team really ensure that, you abide by all the protocol as far as COVID-appropriate behavior is concerned, and yet at the same time save lives?
Well, I think you have hit the nail on the head. It was last year also when we were tackling Cyclone Amphan and Nisarg. It was during the time of COVID. COVID had just begun, and I always used to call it a double whammy, a double challenge. I think the double challenge is now quadrupled in this case of pandemic, which is going very, very strong. So yes, it is a tough call, but NDRF is prepared for it. To start with, all the NDRF personnel have been double dosed with the vaccine, so they are well protected that way. They also observe a lot of protocols, including the outfit that they wear. You can see in the background the visual that I'm, showing, which has them wearing full body suits, and that is the kind of preparation they have made, and they also observe a lot of other protocols of hygiene and safety. Because the principle is very, very simple, because this is the beginning of the season, and if at the beginning of the season more people from NDRF get infected, then it will have an impact on the rescue operations in the better part of the season, which has just begun. So yes, this is a challenge, and of course, as far as Cyclone Tauktae is concerned, we are all on ground now. The last teams which are to fly in have flown in from Nagpur, and in Gujarat, as you were saying, more than 50 teams, including SDRF, are already spread across Gujarat in the southern coastal districts. And since Gujarat is going to bear the brunt, the preparations are of a high order. And now that the Met Department has ruled that at least on the sea, as the cyclone approaches Gujarat, is going to turn into an extremely severe cyclonic storm category. And when it lands, it will certainly be a very severe cyclonic storm, which is something like 175 to 185 gusting speeds of wind. That is going to be a tough call, and we have to ensure that people are not in harm's way. That's why evacuations have begun since yesterday, and I think the preparations are going on well. And I should hope that we'll come out on the other side relatively with not major loss.